Hello, hello. I know normally I do these creature crafting videos with the face cam on, but I am ever so slightly sick, and uh whatever the heck it is making my face extra greasy, and I just can't be bothered with dealing with that right now. So we're just gonna voice over, and I'm gonna probably do this box in two parts for November. Mostly because I really just can't. This is going to be. There's a total of 8 things in this, and I don't know how long they're gonna take. And we're gonna try to not overdo these videos or make them too big. I don't. They claim to have everything they need in each of the thingy doodles. There's the instructions, the mask, the deer, the leaf. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. I'm going to pick 4 of these, do them, see how we're doing on timing, because I cannot be bothered to edit these videos. I literally do not have time to edit these videos. And creature crafting is supposed to be not edited videos. So you know what? We're gonna not do that. Literally the point of this particular series is that I don't have to edit them. That's kind of why I have these as multiple different things. So I think what I'm going to do is save these 4 that are. I'm going to save what it says that makes 8, but I'm only seeing 1, 2, 3. Okay, no, Scarecrow's over there. Perfect. I'm going to save those ones, and we're going to do these ones. I've decided on these ones. Y'all are just gonna have to. I've chosen these. We're gonna start with the hoot. At least I assume it's the hoot. It makes the most sense for it to be the hoot. These instructions are lovely and vague, as generally expected, honestly. Yeah. So we're gonna do the hoot, and I'm going to chit chat while I do the hoot, because it is the hoot. So this series has become slightly more edited and has added speed drawy bits as I've just been doing longer projects. That wasn't the intention, but that is what happened. Which, I mean, I'm not just gonna put out ridiculously long videos intentionally when I can easily speed them up and it doesn't take long. So this series has now kind of just become more of a, hey, do I have time to edit? Perfect, I'll just speed them up. Do I not have time to edit? Well, I guess they're just going to not be edited because that was the original intention, anyways. It looks like I'm literally just wrapping this in the paper and going from there. So I think this is supposed to be a sticker. Because this project did not give me glue. Which implies to me that this should be a sticker. I don't know why they gave us like, honestly, the tube is already kind of the correct color. So they probably didn't have to give us a sticker to put on the tube. I think they just really wanted to make it difficult. Because everyone knows these flat stickers are impossible to get the backing off Alright, we're gonna try each and every corner to get the sticker off of this. Oh, it says, oh, it's not a sticker. You are supposed to glue it. It just didn't put, they just only put glue in one of the projects. Okay, well, now I have to find the project where the glue is. There it is. I guess we're gonna see today if the glue is dry. Honestly, most of these projects feel like they would have been better if they just included glue dots. Because then you don't have to worry about things drying up and such. But hey, at least the glue appears to be liquid. So we've got that going for us, I guess. A doodly doo. I don't know if I should put the glue on. I have concerns about this actually working. Did you have a thing in you? You do have a thing in you. It's just a very small thing. Okay. I have concerns about how well this particular project is going to work because of how absolutely smooth that stuff is. Like, I'm not kidding when I tell you it feels like a sticker. It feels like you should be able to peel the back of this off because it feels like it should be a sticker. Which is why I have concerns about liquid glue. If they had included glue dots, it would be significantly less likely to be a problem. But they didn't. They included honestly, even double-sided tape would have probably worked just as well. But here we are. If I've learned anything about school glue, it's that you always should put on less than you think that you need to. And I'm just gonna assume this is off-brand school glue. So... yes. That's gonna stay on. Alright, cool. Um, so it's doing exactly the thing I had concerns about, which is immediately peeling up because they couldn't give us glue dots, which would have made this easier. Fortunately. I have come prepared for this situation. Stick. There we go. Now you can glue correctly. I don't understand why they didn't just give us glue dots. Literally all of these projects would work well with glue dots. Or, make these foam pieces stickers. Oh, good. At least the foam pieces are stickers. Okay. Well, they did that correctly then, I guess. I guess. Now it literally just says, put it together. That's literally the instructions on this. Put it together. Do the thing. Here's the instructions. I mean, I guess at least it's in color, question mark. Again, I put the snoots there, I think. Okay, you do get gold around your eyes. So, well. See, why did they make the foam pieces stickers, but they didn't make this a sticker? That doesn't seem to make much sense to me. Anywho. Oh, the googly eyes aren't stickers. Okay, so I have concerns about that one because glue does not really like sticking to this kind of glittery shit. So I guess we're gonna see if it actually can. I have never had very good luck with getting glue to stick to this glittery stuff. Because it's glitter, and glue doesn't particularly like working with glitter. Because glitter makes it harder for the glue to stick. Also, this glue is weirdly stringy. I don't know how to describe it. It's like weirdly stringy school glue. It's like when your parents insist on buying the off brand, even though Elmer's is like not much more expensive, and it's like almost a tacky glue, but not quite tacky glue. I don't know how to describe it. It's like it wants to be tacky glue, but it also wants to be cheap school glue. Wing. I am obviously going to put a pin on the bottom of this too for drying purposes. I just want to make it easier for sitting right now. Why would they not just give us glue dots? Glue dots would have made this easier. So my other problem is the entire back of this piece is sticky, but they tell you to stick it so that the entire top part is sticking up, which means that now you just have the sticky back. That's going to collect a whole lot of dust. Because that's how sticky backs work. Okay. Also, slightly confused why they made the beak red and not orange. Like, the gold feet, I'm okay with. The gold feet, I can get behind. I am okay with the gold feet. But why is the beak candy apple red? Why? Alright, well, there's the hoot. Yeah, it looks like probably doing 3 of these is going to be the correct amount. Anyways, for glue sticking purposes, we're going to grab another one of these and... Oh, things are falling. We're just going to kind of... There we go. You go back there and dry and think about what you've done. Which is be a very strange little owl. You've been a very strange little owl. All right, dear Tim, I guess. Honestly, these are the kind of silly little crafts that I enjoy because they don't really require a huge amount of... Ah! The beads are eating themselves. I'd prefer it if they didn't. Nope. Now we're just missing that bead forever. No, seriously, it's... Oh, there it is. Hold up. I found it. Oh, maybe. Yep. I hate when they put beads just loose in bags. It's infuriating. Bags, beads loose in bags is annoying. Like, put them in a separate bag. Because you know dang well as soon as you open the bag, the beads are going to go everywhere. That's how beads work. Okay. Well, straight off the bat, they couldn't even be bothered to make this foam. It's just paper. It's not even foam. It's just paper. So that's a little obnoxious. I guess given how cheap this was, it's literally just supposed to entertain children. So I can't be too mad at it. That doesn't change the fact that they could have very easily made it out of foam and just had the printing on the foam. Or heck, you could have done what you did with the owl and made the body out of the foam and then give us extra foam pieces to cut out to put in it like they did with these ears. But anywho, they gave us googly eyes, but honestly, I kind of like the little eyes they already put on there. So I'm going to not use the googly eyes. I don't wanna. They're going to join my little tiny jar of googly eyes in the background. Because I've decided I like the little eyes that they put on there. And I've also decided I really do not feel like dealing with trying to get glue to stick on both sides of this stupid, incredibly smooth surface. Boop, boop. These legs are ridiculous. And they feel too long. Boop, boop. Okay, I guess. And then literally the instructions are just, hey, put bead. Hey, put bead. We're not going to tell you how to put bead, but put bead. Put bead, make hoof. Okay, sir. I will put bead and make hoof. And also make the legs a reasonable length. Um, doo. So yeah, uh, I know a lot. I know there's been a lot more editing for this particular series than previously, and that's mostly because of me doing longer projects. Um, I was okay with the a couple of them being like an hour long, but once they started getting to like the 2-3 hour mark, I'm like, I cannot, in good conscience, expect anyone to watch this. It a deer. Yeah. So this one was not as good. I liked the owl better. Which I mean I kind of just picked 4 random ones that I thought would be. So, there's that. Kind of was under the impression that at least one of the 4 that I picked would be not as good. I do. Excuse me, random googly eye. I'm gonna need you because they didn't give me a face on this one. So yeah, I think this box is supposed to be. Let me check real quick. I think it's supposed to be like, yeah, 6+. So that makes sense. It's supposed to be just a silly little box of silly little crafts. And honestly, this is about the level of complexity I expected. But, the same way that sometimes you just want to play with a coloring book, It seems like sometimes you just want to do a craft that you don't have to think about and everything's already there. And with me being ever so slightly sick, uh, not having to think is for the best. Well, these instructions are kind of ridiculous. Hold up. These instructions are literally just, we're going to vaguely point at where everything goes. Figure it out. Go like this. Sir, what? Okay. Okay, I guess. Sure. Um, Also, they're stickers, so, gotta do it correctly the exactly first time, or else, you're not gonna do well. But we did not, however, make all of them stickers, because these ones, because they were part of this, are not stickers, and you have to glue them on. Because that makes sense. Couldn't have possibly just made them a separate sheet so that way they were stickers like the rest of the set. Okay, that feels incorrect. Try again. Because these are Pete's, so they need to go down here where Pete's go, I think. I assume. Listen, I don't. They also couldn't be bothered to, like, outline, at least vaguely, where all of the pieces go. It's just like, here, put the pieces. Hopefully you get it right. Uh, you know what? That's gonna have to be close enough, because I am not peeling the problem with the foam stickers is that they, once you put them down, if you try to peel them up more than once, they try to destroy themselves and they start curling like this one did. So no on that. Also, they want you to glue these into these little places. But honestly, I'm not really seeing a reason why you would have to do that. Because it's not like adding a huge amount extra in terms of things. So I guess that's an optional sort of option. Doo-doo-doo. So yeah. Anywho, this is just a thing. Okay, this is a bandana. That makes sense, I guess. This is just a thing that I picked up because I thought it would be fun to futz with. In terms of a thing an adult should be doing, probably not. In terms of a thing that will distract a child for a while, yeah, probably. I don't see why not. Honestly, it's distracting me. I'm just unsure if it's a good distraction. Now they want you to glue the string on the back. However, I'm not gonna do that because glue takes forever to dry, and if I also have to glue the googly eyes on and glue the other bits on, That's not gonna happen. So, what I'm actually going to do is just use a chunk of the sticker paper that they gave us, cut off a chunk of it, and we're just gonna use that to stick it onto the back. Because longevity is not a thing that I necessarily care about for this. Uh, we're being completely honest. These are not projects that are supposed to last very long. It says to put the beads on before you put this on, but if you put it on before this, then this isn't going to stick as well. So I made the executive decision to ignore that part of the instructions, because putting this on would be a lot more difficult if these were already on when you put it on. So yeah, I'm going to stick this on first. Honestly, this feels like a thing that you have a kid do in order to kind of, like, if you're making a cute little tree or whatever for each of the holidays, and you're like, here's a craft so you can make ornaments for said cute silly little tree that we're doing for the holiday. That's the vibes this is giving. Yeah, that's, honestly, I feel like that's probably better than this cheap glue. Anyway, if we're being honest, that's probably just as good, if not better, than the cheap glue they gave us. Uh, so obviously I'm going to give full review at the very end, but it's also obviously not. It's not an adult kit, obviously. I'm kind of, honestly, I'm more doing this, one, because like I said, sometimes it's just nice as a crafter to not have to think about the thing you're doing and just to be able to create something mindlessly, and two, to make sure that all of the bits actually work the way they're supposed to, because as we have seen in the past, sometimes craft kits are bad at that. As we have seen in the past, both from my channel and some other channels that I'm sure you also watch if you somehow found me in this weird little crafting sphere of YouTube. Craft kits have not always got the best reputation. In fact, sometimes they're a complete and utter garbage. So, there's that. That's cute. That is cute. It would have done well with a little bit extra instructions in terms of where to put specifically these pieces. Like, put an outline on the thing, maybe, to be like, hey, this is where these pieces go, so that way you don't cover up part of your face. But other than that, it's cute. Okay. So I kind of tried to set it up so I was doing 3 of the littler projects and 1 of the bigger ones in each of the 2 videos that I'm going to do in this little box. And obviously I want to put the other one closer to actual Thanksgiving, because that's the Happy Thanksgiving banner. So, raccoon mask. Not entirely sure how raccoons ended up associated with Thanksgiving, but I guess they do have big fall vibes, so I can't be too upset. Also, I just love raccoons. Raccoons are adorable. Raccoons deserve more love and affection. Alright, so this is one of them. Glue all of the pieces together ones. And hope you put it in the exact correct location. I see. I see what you've done. They also could have, like, pre-poked out these holes because these are notoriously difficult to actually get to pop out without ripping the foam. Oop. I do hope I'm staying on screen. I think I'm staying mostly on screen. At least for the important bits. Like, you don't need to watch me pop foam out of things. You know how that works. Oh, hey, at least this is... So they did make this a giant sticker. So why did they not make the owl a sticker? That feels a little... Everything else has been a sticker. Why? Why have you done this? Okay. Now I'm going to do a smarticle particle. And only remove half of this to start with. So that I can very precisely attempt to place it in the correct location. And still manage to fail slightly because it looks like they made this slightly bigger than it needs to be. Because otherwise that should have been pretty dang precise. Okay. We're going to try again. The problem is you can only do this like twice with these kinds of stickers before they, one, stop sticking, and two, warp too much to use. Alright, so that is about as even as it's going to get, and by that I mean it's also almost just as off as it was the first time. Slightly better, but not a huge amount. Anyway. Honestly, this one might have been one of the ones that would have been better if they had made it glue. Because with how big the piece is, like, the ability to move and place it correctly would have probably been more useful. And again, this is why I think they should have just used glue dots instead of giving us liquid glue. I suppose glue dots would have made the googly eyes a little bit more difficult. But also, I know they make googly eyes that are stickers. I know because I've used them. They make googly eyes that are stickers. They could have included glue dots and just gotten the googly eye stickers and made the entire process a lot more streamlined. Because then you wouldn't have to worry about, oh, look, this is very slightly off. Oh, look, this is very slightly off. And the problem is, it's being slightly off is going to mean that putting the string in is going to be impossible. But if you, if I were to remove that and try to put it on again, it's just going to keep warping more and more. Because that's how this kind of craft foam works. So, at some point you have to choose, do I want to keep fighting this and trying desperately to line it up perfectly, and it's going to continue to be very slightly off because I don't think they were cut as precisely as they should have been. Because if you look, this one is about as perfect as you can expect especially given that this is a kit for a 6-year-old. And yet, it is still off. But because they made these stupid little holes so precise, it is incredibly difficult to get this thread to go through. And I was only able to do that so easily because I'm weirdly really used to having to, because I'm a cosplayer, I'm incredibly used to having to rethread masks and such. But like, for a kid to do that, that would be difficult. And I know because it's slightly annoying for me. And also, that one was the easy one. Because this one is even more off. This one I'm going to have to probably puncture a new hole in. Yeah, because that's not going to go through. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right. So, the midway review, I guess, for specifically these 4 projects. And I have a feeling it's probably going to be similar for the rest of them. Just give us glue dots. I don't know why companies have such a hard time with just giving us glue dots instead of liquid glue. I assume it's because glue dots might be more expensive to make, maybe. But I can't imagine they're that much more expensive to make than liquid glue. And glue dots are, one, a lot less likely to go bad if the kit ends up sitting for any length of time. And it gives you a lot more freedom to, hey, now not all of these have to be stickers. Like, these 2 bits and this, yes, stickers. This entire mask part right here would have been a lot better if they would have just given us glue dots. Because then we can align it better. And then we don't have to worry about these little now sticky bits that you can even tell are still sticky because they're shiny. The owl. Yes, make this part a sticker. Make all of the little bits a sticker. But this part that you specifically want us to not have all of the way on the thing, make it a glue dot. Give us glue dots, and then we don't have to worry about now it's sticky forever because you made it a sticker. Give us glue dots, and now we don't have to worry about this thing not drying onto the tube. Give us glue dots, and now we don't have to worry about. So, how I've always viewed things like this is the little parts 100% should be stickers. These, which for some reason were the only part of this that weren't stickers other than the eyes, these make stickers. Big pieces of foam like this don't work as well being stickers because if you misplace it, it's more difficult to remove. It's more difficult to change. It's more difficult to fix. I'm not even going to say anything about this one. You can make this at home. You just print out a picture of a deer on some cardstock. You made this. This one isn't even worth. That one is pushing the. You have that one. That one feels like it's for like closer to a. The only thing making this for 6 and up is the fact that they included beads. This one is not even. This clearly makes it this that one feels like, hey, we have to include another kit because we only have 5 and we want to have a 6-piece, or we only have 7 and we want to have an 8-piece kit. All right, here's a deer. Um so yes. Uh for little kids, yes, I can't imagine anyone really over the age of 10 finding a huge amount of enjoyment out of this unless you are doing the same thing that would make like somebody who does art want to do a coloring book, which is like, I want to do a craft, but I do not want to have to think about said craft a huge amount, which is the main reason that, like, at least I do things like coloring books, is like, I would like to color without having to think about the thing that I am making first. That's about where I fall on these. We'll see if the last 4 make it any different, but based on how they all look, it's gonna be about the same. Anywho, that is all. That is it. Toodaloo.